Got 5 people watching so far. 5 might just be enough to launch an after show. I'd like to see a little bit more. Got a special guest who's going to hop on here in a minute. Hopefully, Dude's going to show up too. Oh, and I'm live. Live for real live. Not just like fake Michael Hendricks live. Hello, sister. Are you going to call in tonight, I wonder? This is like the only way that you have of catching up with me for whatever reason. Top Gun high five from Michael Hendricks. Michael, you are gunning for like top spot in terms of like being a fan. You're just always there. David, you are in the Navy. You make me afraid for our country because you are seemingly never on duty. You're a gunner's mate. I guess you don't have anyone to shoot in peacetime, so I don't blame you for that. Michael Hendricks, you are pre-recorded all your appearances. Michael, are you ever going to appear on the show? Like so many people around here have been elevated. Case in point, you know, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but there was a time where I was just one of you chumps. And then I got picked for no reason to be on the show. And the show happened. And the show spun off. No one wants to hear what I have to say. That's really not the point of the after show. We're not here to do anything really that constructive. Christy, actually, I'm thinking about, I told Dewey to grab any trivia game. He has quite a big stock of games at his house. I'm hoping he'll hop on here in a minute and we could have some kind of trivia game. I don't remember the last time you and I played a game, but it probably didn't end well. Start time said we had 40-ish minutes. I know, yeah. Sorry, Marines. You could come back in 40 minutes if you want to watch it. It's an after show, so it just goes live when Comm Center's over. You know what I mean? No, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you? I just want to see you guys crush it. And my head through my obsessive fandom, I'm helping. You are helping, Michael. To be honest, I remember what some of the shows that I'm on used to be. Before I got there. And they're not great now that I'm on them. So anything that you can do, always being in the chats, sharing the comments you leave, Michael, in all sincerity, because for some reason the after show is kind of sincere. Everything you do helps. The only thing I would ask you to do is like go out to the real world and make friends and then tell them about the show. But you're doing everything you can. My sister's right. You're helping. Face for radio and a voice for text. Do you think I'm handsome? I don't belong on the internet. Someday they're going to pass legislation to get rid of me. Christy, did I tell you I retired from Monopoly? You have to have seen that picture where I had absolutely dominated the game. At the end of the game, I'm holding up the fake money like real money, like rappers do, and I ruined Thanksgiving with that, and I decided my father-in-law told me that I had a hateable persona, which you know. I mean, you've known that since '88. But it was all right. Take it easy. Pump the brakes there, Michael. You've known since '88 that I have a hateable personality, and he just found that out, and it was harder for him because I'm big, and he can't like hit me and then tell mom that I hit him first, like he always used to do. David, what's the real world, John? Is this all a sim? It's all too real, unfortunately. Although I was talking to Kendra on the phone earlier tonight, and I made her believe that the reason why I don't make sense as a person is because all of this, she had a car accident several years ago that was very vicious. And I told her that everything that is in her life is just a dream. And the fact that her dreams are making less and less sense, like with my existence, is proof that her brain is dying. And so I was talking to her on the phone, and I was telling her that I was the doctor, actually, and I was trying to get her to wake up. Sometimes you don't hate me. Well, that's good that you don't hate me. You did used to hit me, and then when I would retaliate and just even the score, you would tell on me. I don't think this is maybe the best forum to like unpack our family trauma. You're not 6 to 8 minutes behind. I don't know what that means. We have a guest here. He just popped into the old studio. This will really only work if we get Dewey in here to do some trivia. Otherwise, I have no idea what we're going to do. Reading the chat. Well, it helps that we don't have 100 people in here tonight. When I had Carly on last week, I think most people actually wanted to talk to Carly. Also, that was the first after show, so it was more exciting. Now the after show, everyone knows what they're getting, and most people realize that going to bed is better use of time. I would like to welcome to the Comm Center for the very first time ever my co-host from Hard Time. You may know him as Jake, motherfucker welder. His identity is secret, but he is a corrections professional. He and I have a podcast that is on 2 times a week, Monday and Friday. It's audio only. It's kind of the chill podcast I do. It's the one I have to do the least amount of work on. But he's funny, and he's also here. So welcome to the show, Jake, motherfucker welder. Jake, can you hear me? I don't think it's quite dark
enough.
What?
I can hear. I was going for Comm Center Gold.
Oh, yeah, you did okay. Pixelize yourself a little bit more. Oh no, you're too bright. You're too. Everyone can make out your identity.
Now it won't shut off.
Jake, I have a good news to bring you that I haven't been able to talk to you about.
Okay.
And this also is not the form, but I've got a sponsor.
What?
But it's really just a sponsor for me. I don't know if it's a sponsor for the show. So starting tomorrow, I have to actually record an ad and attach it to the show that's going out tomorrow. But there's an ad that's going to run on every single show that I do.
Nice.
As soon as the guy pays me, he hasn't paid me yet, but I'm going to kind of give him some good faith that he's going to pay me. But we've got some revenue sharing that, again, is just for me, apparently. But maybe I should talk to him about you, because then maybe we could get you at least in affiliate advertising or whatever it's called, affiliate marketing. I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more. The fans don't care about me making money. Most of them are against it. Michael Hendricks, John, I had a sponsor until I dropped out of AA. I don't know how serious you're being, so I have to joke about it or not. Is this gang going to require attending meetings? You mean our family therapy? No, because as bad as it is, I can live with it. Or is she talking about an AA meeting? I don't know. I'm kind of back behind a little bit. Jake's secret AA identity is Jake. When have I ever known me to be serious about anything? Michael, when have I ever known you? You have to remember that I have gotten to know you in thousands of little 2-sentence comments. I don't really know you in a real way. That doesn't mean that I can't get to know you eventually. Goodness knows you show up for enough shows. Yes, I'm really live, Michael. You come to so many of my shows that even when I'm pre-recorded, I mention that you're in the audience. Hopefully Dewey shows up with a trivia game for us to play soon, Jake. Otherwise, I'll just catch up with you. How are you?
Had a very interesting day. I don't want to bring all the fans down. For Comm Center, I had to put my dog down today. So.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah.
I just found out you had a dog, so I'm really going through a high and a low here. I just found out he existed.
Yeah, he's almost 10 years old. He's been a good companion, good with the kids and stuff. But that was the middle portion of my day, and I'm run around doing errands and stuff. But yeah, no, appreciate it. But was able to listen to the Comm Center and stuff, and your voicemail reminded me of that time that I was trying to put together a website for orphans, but it was very complicated because it didn't have a homepage. So I just don't know.
Going back and addressing your loss, I had an animal of mine put down last year, and it was the first time I ever had to go through that because most of my cats just ran away growing up. My pets just took off.
Right.
So I never really went through that level of separation. But when you've got the animal in your arms and it's alive, and then you're going through the process and then it's not alive anymore, it's utterly heartbreaking. I mean, I'm not a big crier, but that was tough. And my dog Dana's getting a little bit older, so I kind of worry about what's beyond the horizon. It's already been bad because we moved out to the countryside, and I've got steps here and all this, and she kind of doesn't have the same energy going up the steps. She used to just have like a 3-foot vertical jump, but now she's getting older, so it's tough.
Yeah, hip dysplasia and that kind of stuff with different dogs. It's not fun, but I was glad he didn't have like a real long decline or anything. So
yeah.
But
anything else good? Anything positive, uplifting, or is it just orphan jokes and passed away?
It's been a rough couple days. Not a lot of good stuff going on. I got my pants taken away at work. I got de-pantsed.
By an inmate or an administrator?
Administrator.
Whole huge difference.
Yeah, no, the ones that I purchased.
Is it because they listened to the uniform episode and they're like, no more episodes about uniforms?
No, I think they just decided like how I keep my pen and keys and everything was just wrong this last week. So I don't know. So I tried to call them and talk to them about something today, and they didn't answer. So I'm on the outs. I don't know. We'll see how tomorrow goes because I'm going in for overtime.
That fucking sucks.
Yep.
You available at all tomorrow?
Early, yeah. If we're gonna, I just go in at my standard time in the afternoon. So still available if we want to record. What are we up to? 55 now.
Lots of episodes of Hard Time if people are in that. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so we can
probably be good. Otherwise, I don't know what your Saturday looks like, but my Saturday is pretty much going to be open because I'm almost 40,
deal,
so like I want to just be free on the weekends.
Yeah, same thing. I'll be working in the afternoon, so that like normal when I first get up time will work for Friday or Saturday, whichever. Hi, Will Cray. He's our biggest fan on Hard Time.
Yeah, on Hard Time, yeah. Please welcome to the studio, audio only, our producer, Dewey Nordmans. Hello, Dewey. I don't know.
Hello.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for that special surprise of the visuals for the Virginia Slims commercials tonight on the read through.
Oh yeah,
that was a special treat. I was driving and as I was watching the show, and I about busted a gun.
Welcome.
And I almost drove right into the post office. So, but they're closed. So that was good. Dewey, I made kind of a special request of you. I like how my sister says pants are overrated when all she ever talks about is how she wears pants to church. Did you were you able to grab a like any kind of trivia game just for me and Jake to play? Because we only got 7 in the audience tonight. It's not like 35 like last week when Carly was here. I don't know if you know this, but people always show up for girls. That has always been the case.
Yeah, girls.
Since it's Butch tonight. Since it's Butch tonight, I don't know if you want to do a trivia face off of the best of maybe 5 questions or something. If someone gets it wrong, there's a chance to steal. Just devise a game on the fly.
It's up to me to devise a game.
You don't have to. If you I know you said you couldn't stay long, so if you need to go to bed or if you don't, go ahead.
The only trivia games I own are movie based.
That's fine.
I'm a complete nerd.
Have you listened to Hard Time? All we do is talk about Shawshank, Fugitive, U.S. Marshals. It's virtually a movie podcast. Plus, I have complete world knowledge. So movies are part of the world.
You have complete movie knowledge. All right. Well,
good night, sister.
I think the only trivia game I have doesn't work in this podcast type format. So there's that.
Okay. So it's not happening.
It's the one that I've only played with you once before. I guess all I could do
Friday the 13th, or what do you mean?
No, it's my Blockbuster one.
Oh no, we can do that. It's just the questions, right? We don't have to do the acting out parts.
No, yeah, we can just do the questions, and it's basically
I will
never
forget that when that other person that was there at that party did the impression of Apocalypse Now.
Oh my gosh, that was horrific. I was scarred for life.
You tell that person that was an indelible memory that I carry with me in my heart when that person acted out Apocalypse Now. I will never forget.
I think that
that
person remembers.
Is that person laughing right now?
Yeah, they might be.
I will never forget that. That was That was the best.
Never forget Apocalypse Now. Okay.
I've never even seen that movie. Now I won't be able to watch it without remembering that. So.
Okay.
I'll take anything you have just so that you don't have to stay up too late, even if it's best 2 out of 3. I don't want to keep you here long. But I some kind of game format. I'd like to make this, mix it up, have it be about different things if I'm going to even do an after show,
Okay, we could do the best 2 out of 3 then.
Okay. Jake goes first because he's a visitor, so.
So I guess what you're going to do here is I'm going to give you a descriptor. So let's just give an example. Sorry, I'm also eating right now, so it sounds ridiculously disgusting.
It's okay. Peanut butter is what I'm getting, though.
Yeah. This descriptor would be movies based on a book. So what needs to happen is you guys go back and forth. You have 30 seconds, and whoever can name the most movies based on a book, or whoever gets the last word, essentially, before 30 seconds runs out, wins that round. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And should I count as I'm going?
I've got a timer on my end, if that helps. I wish I could get something up on screen.
Should I count how many books that I know?
Or how many movies you named?
Movies, yeah.
I guess in classic back and forth style, I guess the last person, like if you can't name one, it just kind of goes back and forth. Does that make sense? Like,
all right,
if you can't name one, you lose.
I'll just let you decide who the winner is. Just go for it, man. I don't want to keep you all here all night.
Okay. So here we go. You boys have 30 seconds to give me movies with gadgets. Go.
Mission Impossible.
Inspector Gadget.
Octopussy.
Thunderball.
GoldenEye.
Spectre.
Thunderball. Did I say Thunderball?
From Russia with Love.
And
The Spy Who Loved Me.
That's time. I should have made.
Should have made some kind of
to that because you could just go through the whole James Bond.
Yeah, I should have made a caveat
catalog.
That when someone grabs a franchise that you're done for. But that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll give the round to Jake, even though he did say Thunderball, even though I said Thunderball.
Well, we'll give it to Jake then. All right, next round. You have you have 30 seconds to give me movies with planes.
The Dark Knight.
Airplane.
Airplane 2.
Top Gun.
Passenger 57.
Oh.
U.S. Marshals.
Air Force 1.
Dunkirk.
Time. We'll give that one to John.
Yep. Just trying to think of Red Tails.
Oh. Red Tails, Flyboys, Airport.
Independence Day.
Independence. Oh, damn, that would have been one. Okay. I'm going to skip that one because that one involves math for me. Let's move on. Okay, last round. You have 30 seconds to give me movies about gangsters.
American Gangster.
Road to Perdition.
Equalizer 3.
The Godfather?
Yeah, that works.
Godfather Part 2.
Goodfellas.
Yes.
Casino.
Mm-hmm. Time's up.
I also had The Irishman.
Yeah, any Martin Scorsese film, essentially.
I've never seen a Martin Scorsese film.
You haven't seen The Departed?
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Okay. Well, have you seen Goodfellas?
Is that Scorsese?
That's Martin Scorsese.
I have
Casino
not seen
is
that,
as
no.
well.
I only knew Goodfellas from Goodfellas, the Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah. They're spoof.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. I let you down. Jake wins that game.
Yeah.
Thank you for all playing Dewey's Feast of Games. If you have a game that you would like to see played on the after show, if you would like to play a game, if you want to appear and play a game, this game show format's not totally unheard of on Comm Center.
So fun.
Dewey, how have you been this past week? I haven't seen you since Sunday, and you would not speak to me for some reason.
I was mobbed by other folks. I've been all right. I'm busy on Comm Center.
You did a great job
this
week. I was really impressed by you. For those of you who don't know, this is how Comm Center gets made, right? You always want to know how it's made. Drew and I make up something at the last second. Okay. Either one of us decides like, oh yeah, let's do a shooting, or like one of us is like, why don't we look for an article while we're about to do it? Very half-assed. The Fleckus thing has been brewing for about a month or more, so we've had countdown to that. I said last week that I had no idea who the guest was, and I just am stupid and I forgot. I thought that the Fleckus episode was very good. I really enjoyed being on the show with him. I always kind of get intimidated by guests because everyone seems like a bigger deal than me, but he was just really cool. So he was probably one of my favorite guests so far. Go out there and watch Fleckus Talks. Actually, if you watch, he's got a show tomorrow where he'll be dropping various assets from this show. Hopefully we do that. Hopefully we'll see a bump. To be honest, we would like to see this podcast become successful. We're still not where we were from when we left the old network, but we are growing incredibly fast. When I got that sponsor, I had to give them some stats, and I couldn't believe how many views we've had all time on Comm Center since we broke away. So it is growing very fast. So Dewey basically watches the show. He sits there with a notepad and writes down timestamps of all my mistakes. Makes some fun edits. Case in point, during the Virginia Slims edit, I kind of choked on one of the jokes, and Dewey made it sound like I'm a master. He just made it sound like I'm not an idiot. So thank you to him for that. And then so he kind of throws that in, like he smooths out the transition. Anytime you see the bars are on there, he's doing a lot of work with that. He takes the audio. It's a big files, compiles those, edits those, and then so they can go out on all the streaming sources. Dewey, did this get air? Did this video go out on Spotify just now for the first time ever? Did we breach the final frontier of podcasting?
We have video podcasts on Spotify now.
It's entirely possible that other networks do not have video podcasting, but we do. So just something to throw out there, even though I'm the producer of other podcasts. And it ostensibly would be my job to make that happen.
Right. You might be making work for yourself there.
Dewey, was it hard to do?
No, I mean, the same video that we put out on YouTube is essentially the same one that goes out on Spotify until we start getting some more subscription-based stuff, and it'll be more exclusive to one platform over the other, I'm sure.
Can you guys let me know what you'd like to see for bonus content for subscribers? At some point, we'll have a big enough channel for subscribers. And if anybody here is going to be our subscribers, is the people who are showing up to talk to me about nothing. Whether that's Ben Allen, Howdy from Maine, or Carly and Beignet, the lovable woman and her dog. Carly, who gives great advice to Will Cray on how to find love by growing taller, and David J. And Michael Hendricks, as we've talked before. You guys would be the ones that would do that. So what do you want? Like, I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's like I've been trying to increase subscriber-only content on the other network, and I'm trying to increase it over here. You know, what do you want from us? Like, if you're paying for it, like, we're here to go for that. You know,
we will be your circus monkeys.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, we'll dance for your pennies.
Absolutely.
So whatever it is you want. So then Dewey compiles all that, and then he's got to make a thumbnail. So that's like he has to create a piece of art every week. It's not just enough that he's like doing all this, and then it's not just doing all that work, but he's got to do it by Thursday, right? So we're doing this this week. We did this on Tuesday. Did a ton of work, and then there's a turnaround time on like 48 hours. It's not a lot. And I don't know if you know this, but Dewey like has his own job and stuff, and
sometimes multiple
jobs. And so he just does a tremendous amount of work. And, right now we're kind of in the pilot phase where we're still trying to get our first advertisers. And so that's code for Dewey's a slave, so Dewey's investing his time in the future, and hopefully those dividends pay off. But they'll pay off by keeping the fans interested and giving the fans what they want. So if I know what you want, I can give it to you. You'll pay for it. Then Dewey won't need to be a slave. It looks like we got our first phone call. Someone who wanted to talk to me the entire day.
Call from
John.
It's from John.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Okay, David, hold on 1 second. I'm going to say goodnight to Dewey, so I'll be right back with you. Dewey, thanks for jumping into the show. I appreciate you. You tell Apocalypse Now over there, hey, and I'll see you guys on Sunday.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you to Dewey, everyone. I don't know how to turn those off. Oh, that just goes away. Have a good night, Dewey. I appreciate you.
Good night, Dewey.
All right. See you later. Bye.
All right, David, you're on the Comm Center. You were texting me quite a bit earlier today while I was at work.
And I was driving.
I mean, I appreciate that about you, that you were risking yourself. So what's going on with you? You're mad at me that I'm not signing your leg.
No, I'm definitely hashtag Team Jake's hat.
Oh yeah,
definitely on that.
Yeah, I've got my trucker style hat on literally right now. So
yeah.
I don't know why. I just
no, nothing else. Yeah. I'd love to hear some Jake jokes. I kind of miss those.
You guys could actually just communicate without me, and that way I don't even have to fucking hear it. So I don't know if you want me to just give Jake your phone number and you guys could just be friends without me, kind of cut me out. I'm just holding you guys back from true friendship anyway. So
right.
I texted Jake a couple times on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been gentle, sliding in the DMs.
All right, take it easy there. My sister was in the chats. So
do you know where David, do you know where sperm play football?
Oh my God, what the hell did I just say, dude?
Where who?
Where sperm play football?
Oh man, I know this one. I can't remember now.
In a condom.
That's a good one.
It's a prophylactic joke. It's literally safe, John.
Michael Hendricks is commenting on Carly's advice to Will last week to be taller and be well endowed. Worst advice ever. He says if I could just make it happen, I would have by now. But I'm comfortable with my height though, so I don't know. Yeah, this is another conversation that why is it happening here? I don't know. Literally came from a meme. Yes, Carly, you are off the hook for that. Although I thought you and I had sincerity between us. I thought we'd reached that point as friends, but I didn't realize that we were just glib and snarky to each other with no substance at all. I want recognition every single show. Marine's blood. Hello. David, you're in the Navy. This guy's a Marine. Do you have any words of advice for the Marines? Do you want to get anything off your chest, or do you do that on a regular basis, or is there no Marine detachment where you're stationed? I have no idea.
The carry handle on an M4 M16 series is meant for carrying the rifle. The handle on the 240 barrel is meant to carry the M240. Correct. That is the correct way to carry it. And Semper Fidelis. It's not Semper Fi. It's Semper Fidelis.
It's like they don't have time for Fidelis, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It seems lazy.
Marines are lazy for that their whole motto. What's the Navy's motto? Isn't it "Don't give up the ship" or something?
No, that's actually one of the ship's mottos. Why can't I think of it now?
Well, it was the captain of the original Continental Navy USS Chesapeake. He was I don't remember his name. He was being boarded, and he said, "Don't give up the ship," and then he was immediately killed.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Captain Phillips. That was my guess.
John Paul Jones. Thank you, Michael. See, Michael's the true Navy buff here. So it's probably USS John Paul Jones, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is a guided missile frigate, right? Nobody knows.
No, it's a destroyer now.
Oh, well, the old one was a frigate. We don't use frigates anymore, do we?
No, because that's what littoral combat ships are now, or just cannon fodder.
Are you on a littoral combat
That's the whole
ship?
purpose of a frigate. Not anymore.
Are you allowed to say where you are?
I work inside of the building, teaching anti-piracy.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
So you teach people not to say "arg" and walk around with cutlasses in their teeth?
Oh no, I definitely teach that, because you have the you have an enlisted, cutlass. You've got officer swords. Like, you got to use them.
Okay, as long as they're using it properly, and the stick pointy end goes in the other guy, I think it's okay. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not like Marines where we take our K-bars and throw it at each other's feet and see who flinches first.
I thought
we just have sword fights.
I thought you did that with a Bowie knife, not a K-bar.
Well, so how
Marines don't have buoys.
So how in the Navy do you substitute your diet? You're obviously not crayons. It's something different for the Navy.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Yeah.
Who are you asking? You have to say.
No, that just means a general statement of it depends on who you ask. Like, are you asking an Army guy or a Navy guy or a Marine? Because everybody's going to give you a different answer of what we do. But
yeah,
but it all depends on the Navy, because we call some people window lickers because of what job they have.
Nice. Yeah, my
job is the window licker. David, you just like to tantalize. You don't actually like to inform. I can't believe you're a teacher. People go in front of you and you're like, "How we stop pirates?" You're like, "Well, it depends on who you ask." And then you sit down for over an hour before you dismiss the class, right? Is that how it goes every day?
No, actually, what I teach is I usually burn through my PowerPoints pretty quickly. Of look, here's the PowerPoint. We'll get through them, and then the rest of the week, the next 4 days, is all right, guys. Let's go beat each other up and push guns into each other's faces and see where it goes.
So do you wrap stuff around your head and then you just play Russian roulette?
No, it's usually muzzle strikes, or
okay,
because we're not allowed to carry batons. We can't carry batons, and we don't carry OC on boardings. So all you have is basically a rifle and a pistol.
Yeah. So what's your? My grandfather was a Navy corpsman, so he was attached to Marines. What's your opinion on Navy corpsmen in general?
Oh, I love corpsmen.
Okay, that's good, because he said the Navy didn't like him in Korea, and he said the Marines didn't like him, mostly because of the position, not because of who he was. But he was he was just kind of a stuck in between type of job, I guess.
Yeah, no, most corpsmen that I've dealt with, they either love their job or they want to go back to working with Marines. So, but no, most of the cormorant are always fun. Yeah. Yeah, especially on hospital ships, just turn into a party boat.
Yeah, he was the kind that liked to break up the boredom with bare knuckle fighting, so I'm sure that was entertaining.
David,
smokers.
David, in your 17-year career, what has been your favorite posting or your favorite place that you've been stationed?
San Diego.
Okay, where you are now. Very fascinating.
I
really meant more like I liked being on an aircraft carrier, or like, you know, that time I was at the secret base in the Marianas Trench. That was neat. Spice it up a little bit. You do what I do, you know, where you throw in some lies to make it more fun.
No, it all depends, because there's good things and bad things. Like an aircraft carrier, quality of life was fun, but the boredom was always ensuing. You know, not having a job, not having a purpose. You know, what I do now is fun. Because my job entailed me to work like quarterly, like every 3 months I would do something, and then the rest of the time I would just sit there.
So you literally, like, you didn't have any collateral duties or anything?
No, I was too young at the time. I didn't have any collateral.
So you were on a ship and you did something every quarter, like 4 times a year. You have to go to work.
No, it would be 4 times a year. We'd have to run the fire suppression systems and test them and make sure it's clean.
But you didn't, like, you know, do any of the other firefighting drills or any of the other, like, super important stuff on a ship, you know, nothing like that?
No, not at all. I mean,
You know,
man up the
folks, I was
guns,
wrong.
but
I thought that, like, being in the Navy was hard, but apparently, like, you only have to, there's certain jobs where you only have to show up like part-time. So you nothing against David, part-time sailor. I was mad about Carly's comment earlier, is that Navy just failed Marines, but you know, you're not making yourself look exactly great right now. Marine says the Navy is our taxi service. You know, my dad was in the Navy and he had unkind things to say about Marines, but you know, I don't know. Now I don't know what to think. All right. Well, David, I'm going to let you go unless there's anything else you want to talk to me about. I want you to feel like you have had full access to me since you've been talking to me now for like 12 hours. Feel caught up?
Yes. I feel greatly appreciated that you're willing to talk to me and yell at me and tell me that, you know, that I could be better. I mean,
you can be. I don't know why you spend Tuesday nights the way that you do. Just remember, everything's business, and everything's a business decision, and customers play part of business decisions. But I mean, you know, the free market decides if I'm not good enough to make your Tuesday nights for you, then I don't deserve to be here. So that's fair. David, I'll go ahead.
I'm usually busy on Tuesdays.
What's that?
I'm usually busy on Tuesdays.
Well, we know that you're not fighting for our nation, so I don't know what the hell you're doing on Tuesdays.
But they won't let me. They just won't let me.
They won't let you fight for the nation. Thank you. And David, I want you to think about what you'd be willing to pay for in terms of subscriber content. Like, I don't want to have to like charge you $3.99 a minute to call me, but you know, unless we come up with something better, that's probably what it's going to be. So I'll go ahead and say good night to you. Thank you, David. I appreciate you calling in the after show. You have a good night, bud.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, David.
Say goodbye to David. He's gone. Okay. Abbreviated applause for him. All right. We all know that her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and her life is better than ours. Please welcome to the show, Carly. Carly, I'm very sorry for that introduction. That was the worst thing I've ever done.
It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
All I noticed is last week when you were on the after show, we had 25 people. I jump on tonight and it's me and Dewey at first. It was like 5 people. And my own sister's just like, boring, you're boring. And then she leaves.
In my defense, I legitimately forgot today was Thursday. So
that's okay. What's up with Beignet?
She heard the wind blow outside. So she's a little angry.
Okay. All right. I mean, I accept that. What's going on with you? How are you? did you enjoy tonight's episode of Comm Center with Fleckus? That was pretty cool, huh?
Next question, because I forgot it was Thursday.
I know, I'm just putting you on the spot about it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Now I feel bad.
I thought you liked Comm Center. I don't know. It's been on.
I do. I forgot.
Literally been on every Thursday for 15 months. So I don't know.
I forgot what the day was, and I had training, and it was a weird day normally for me. So
I'm sorry. I will lay off. You've been. We talked about this last week, and I won't go through it again. But you're up there. You're a number 1 fan. Case in point, I just text you, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll join the show." So, bailing me out with your presence. What's going on with you?
Other than Beignet yelling, it's been a chill week so far. So that's kind of cool. I hope that keeps up.
No terrible prison shit happening to you?
No, I actually am transferring facilities, so that's kind of cool.
What the hell does that mean?
Still within the same department. I'm just not going to be working at the same prison. It'll just be a new prison.
Is that because you don't like where you're at, or you got to go to a different team, or?
No, not at all. It's because they told me initially when I onboarded that if you want to promote, then they want you to experience all of the different areas and the different facilities. And I'm very promotable, so I'm just getting in early.
Low key brag there.
Subtle flex.
So when I was in my job interview, I worked for a very small agency. Many the true fans know that. They asked me for whatever reason in my interview, where do you want to be in 5 years? And I said, well, I basically said, moving on up, shift supervisor, some kind of, whatever the next step is. And I go through this whole great answer. When my boss says, well, it's just me and you. And I'm like, well, why the fuck did you ask me that then? I assume you don't want me to take your job away from you, and you want to be here as long as you want to be here. And I'm not going to be promoted to your job unless you want me to be. So why would you ask me that? I mean, I guess you want to see some kind of drive, but I mean, in a department that's that small. All right, she's muted because she's because of the dog. Jake, what do you think?
Chastising the dog.
Chastising the dog. Jake, do you have upward mobility? Or are you gonna? I know you talked about this. I'm on a hard time, but do you want to be admin or a lieutenant or anything like that?
They got rid of the lieutenant position a while back. I think they need to bring it back. I think it would be good to have, kind of like from what I understand, in the military, you have some of those people that are like have been promoted through the ranks and they know what's going on, but they can, kind of work in between. And the sergeants are so busy working with line staff. I think it would be a good position. And then could still stay in uniform. I don't know what kind of pants that would involve. We'd have to.
The condition is that you get to pick your own pants as a lieutenant. I think lieutenant is a rank that you get to pick your own pants at.
Yeah, I can put my pants on like a big boy, however I want. I could pronounce it lieutenant. That's fine. If they want lieutenant, right tenant, whatever tenant they want. There will be the deputy and administrator will be moving on at some point. So in a few years, there's possibility for upward that way. But like I said, I just don't know because of the politics of, the state, federal, and other levels of things, if that's something I want to do or not. I'll never say never, but we'll see how things go.
Jake, what did you get to see the Comm Center episode we just had?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was watching.
Any thoughts on that? I saw it, John. It was truly an episode.
I don't miss episodes of Comm Center. Even if I get in there at the very end or at the very beginning and I'm in the middle of something, I make every episode of Comm Center so far. No, that's a tough case. I mean, it was interesting with the different perspectives and stuff on the shooting. I mean, I can't imagine. I didn't think of it that way before. The perspective of an SRO being like, am I going to have to shoot one of the students or something like that? That point being brought up is interesting because I did think about that at some point when I've run into people from the jail and stuff on the outs, it's like I concealed carry, and I'm like, if they wanted to continue their criminal activity and they wanted to single me out, would I be prepared to defend myself or whoever I'm with in that fashion? So it's something I've thought about, but that was an interesting perspective. I guess
Do you think SROs basically walk around and when everything's fine, which it almost never is because they're having to handle all kinds of cases of he said, she said, people bullying each other and people sending each other dick pics and shit, like it's typical SRO stuff. Do you think, like, as they get to know the students throughout the course of a year, that they're like eyeing certain people, the way they behave, the goth kids, the ones that obviously hate their dads, do you think they're worried that, like, hey, before the school year's over, I'm going to be plugging this kid?
Yeah, no, I've had conversations with them where they're like asking them how their job has been since transferring, because I know a lot of the deputies and police officers and stuff that come through, and they say, oh yeah, like, we've had people who threaten to shoot up schools and stuff come through, and they're like, oh yeah, we've been watching this one for a long time. Like we kind of expected something to happen, something similar to this, or they know the ones that if something goes missing from the school or from students, they know who to talk to, and they know who's doing drugs and dealing drugs. So there's definitely, I mean, I'm sure people get caught by surprise sometimes, some of them, but yeah, they can usually tell. It's usually known that somebody's made a passive threat at least beforehand, before they carry something like that out.
We usually wind up with a lot of that information. Kids go home after school, 3, 4 o'clock, and then they go home and tell their parents shit, and their parents are calling me, and I'm like, well, it's kind of too late to do anything about that now. It's frustrating. Carly, how do you like your coffee?
Strong.
Tall, dark, and strong, just like she likes her men.
I feel like this is the only show where I'm really the chatty person. I like it strong.
No, it depends. I have an espresso, so I like to do an espresso with a little bit of frothed oat milk creamer, and then I will also just do a black K-cup.
Jake?
I lately these days, I'm having some cream in my coffee, but I will drink it black. I drank it black for years. I usually drink Black Rifle coffee. I won't drink the Folgers they give us at work anymore because it just reminds me of past traumas, and we call it survival coffee. It's not something that you would wish on somebody else. It's just something that's there.
Jake, am I hearing a baby or a kitten?
That's a cat. It's been a while since we've had a cat join.
I remember podcasting with you during your last litter, and then you telling me that they were all dead. I had to go through the ups and downs of that one too. That was awful.
Now I need to know what kind of Black Rifle coffee, though, because I need to know if we drink the same one or not.
Go ahead.
Oh, I go through a few of them. The Waking the Neighbors, I've been using that a lot because it's got like extra caffeine. So I usually keep one bag of that around. And then I have like the Tectasquatch, Blackbeard. So usually medium or dark roast, but I'll try to mix it up a little bit.
Carly, a question has been posited for you, and since you like stuff to be awful, I'll just let you address it, or if you want to or not. I put it up on the screen for you.
I don't want to make a bad joke, but no, I don't like my coffee the same way.
So you don't like your men full of oat milk? I don't know what the fuck
she likes her men weak. Obviously, she said strong. So
I'm trying not to make a race joke. Okay. God damn.
All right, so this is a forum of friends, and also an FBI agent. Are you racist? I mean, you there's certain people you don't date. You don't have to answer that.
It's not being racist, but yes, there are certain people I do not date.
But just based on the race, though.
Not necessarily.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Well, let's back
There's
off. Let's back off.
also
Look, you don't
like
have to
about them.
defend yourself. You're not on trial here. Will's on trial. Let's not forget
Exactly.
this is
It's all
about
Will's
Will.
fault. Felons are along the lines, regardless of what color they are. Felons, I don't date.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. Surprisingly, not all women who work in prisons feel that way.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the issue.
And
So-
not necessarily someone that oat milk runs through their veins.
Yeah.
Don't knock the oat milk until you try it. It is delicious.
It's okay. I have
It does not
Brand
taste
is where it's at.
No.
I have almond milk regularly for shakes and stuff, so I can't completely judge.
I had oat milk once in a Starbucks, and it was awful, and I hate that place, and I don't like going there, and it always happens against my will. We're about to close down the show just because we only got 8 people here tonight. It's not like the last time when Carly was here. Oh, Drew's here. I guess we're not about to close down the show, folks. It's Drew Breezy.
The Comm father.
You can close it down. Can you hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
you
you.
want me to just end the show now that you're here, Drew?
Yeah. I don't want to keep you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean, I was going to wrap it up, but like if the star of the show is here, like that's a reason to go on. Drew, what are you doing in Boston? What the heck are you doing? You didn't even tell me you were leaving town.
Oh, I did, and you know it. Now you're going to be embarrassed. This is the weekend.
I'm flying down to Tampa tomorrow, so you bet I'm embarrassed.
This is the weekend of Nicole Ford's memorial
You
service.
told me. Damn it. Another thing that you told me that my PTSD erased.
Right.
Drew, that was a damn good show with Fleckus.
I loved it. I thought it turned out really, really great.
These two didn't see it, so I don't know what to tell you. Carly didn't see it, but Jake did.
Oh, yeah.
You missed one show in its entire lifetime, and you never live it down.
Well, Carly, you've been on enough episodes to know that it's on Thursday. I mean, there's a different standard applied for you because you're.
I didn't forget it was on Thursday. I forgot today was Thursday.
Okay.
Did Beignet watch it?
You know, she might have. Oh.
No, he's still there. He's still there. He's just listening.
Who? Beignet or me?
You disappeared briefly, Drew. It's not your fault.
Oh.
I brought you back. Drew, so are you gonna do anything else fun? Were you up there? You gonna catch a Red Sox game? You gonna go out to you gonna go get a hot dog? I don't know what else there's to do in Boston.
I am gonna get a lobster roll tomorrow. Like I kind of made it, so I've done this before. Like I love New England. If Ben is still here, he can tell you. But even though this show is despite Ben, but yeah. So I flew into Boston intentionally, even though the memorial service is in Bangor, Maine, which is about 3.5 hours from here. So
I read a book about the airport in Bangor once, and it really was a.
Was it a Stephen King novel?
It was. It was The Langoliers.
He has a residence there.
Yes, he has a residence. You mean he drives the economy? Is that what you mean?
Well, basically, yeah. But he lives in Bangor.
Now that all the textile mills are all closed down and all the killer clowns have been vanquished, I mean, it's pretty much just Stephen King.
Pennywise. But he apparently has a house there. I'm going to try to get a photo of the house for you.
You know, my views on Stephen King have run the full circle. I went through a phase where I absolutely adored his writing, loved it, and then Heineken Zero, just checking on you, Drew. But then, like, as I caught up to his more current books, and like he's writing books about people fighting Fox News in proxy. It's just stupid. So I kind of have come to deeply resent him. And then, of course, once he found Twitter, was probably the worst thing that could ever happen to literature was Stephen King getting on Twitter. So
yeah, it does.
But I mean, I have one of his. Right over here somewhere, I've got one of his first editions of one of my favorite books that he's written. So I still love Stephen King. It's just I don't want to meet him now. There was a point where I thought it would be cool to meet him, and now I no longer do. So.
Do you want to hold him captive?
No, and I don't want to run him down with a bus because that's already been done before too. So I don't know if you remember when Stephen King got hit by a car.
I do.
Did you? You didn't take Kara with you because Kara said she was going to jump on the show. She didn't show up because she says she's not allowed to touch your computer. What's that about?
I didn't. We have the kids this weekend.
I don't know what that means.
It means that we co-parent, we share custody.
Well, I mean, it's not. Are you not allowed to turn on a computer while a child is there? I don't know the laws in Florida, Drew.
We usually just set up a webcam and make sure that we can watch what they're doing while they play. They set up the slip and slide to end in the knife drawer.
But, I think if there had been cameras in the house in the 80s and 90s when parents were away, I would still be in prison.
Oh, fuck yeah. There's no doubt.
The shit that we did, man. I mean, I can remember, I didn't get away with all of it, but I can remember like at one point, like literally like taking a mattress down the stairs on us, like as a slide. Like we would do shit like that all the time.
I remember being on medicine when I was a young kid, like because I had some kind of infection or something. I constantly had infections growing up in Western New York. As someone in this sphere might tell you, it's like a chemical dump. The whole place is just bad.
Yeah.
And I had this real bad infection. So they put me on antibiotics, but apparently it weirded me out. Like it freaked me out more so than normal. And my dad comes upstairs and he's like, I smell smoke up here. And I'm like, no idea what you're talking about.
Were you smoking cigarettes, Drew?
He's like, oh, I was trying to smoke some, I don't know, like mint thing I got from a restaurant. Like I don't even know, like I'd never smoked anything, but I found a book of matches and I'm like.
So you had like the Andes mint in the tinfoil and you're trying to smoke it?
Yeah, basically.
Did you put in a little spoon with a lighter?
Yeah, I did. Candle.
Drew, would you, since you never got complete deep background on me before you hired me to work in your comm center, do you want me to tell you the first item on my III, the first time I committed a crime?
Yeah, please.
I was about 3 years old. I was about 3 years old, and we had gone to some store in a strip mall, and I saw some soap there. It's like some nice bath soap. It was like shaped like a seashell or something, and I thought it smelled good, and I wanted it for our bathroom, so I fucking jacked that shit. And then once we're out in the car, like, I'm like, oh, look what I got. And my parents are like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, they know I didn't pay for it because I don't have a job at age 3. They took me back inside and made me apologize for stealing it. And it was fucking awesome in terms of parenthood. They actually like made me face full humiliation, shame, and accountability for doing that. And I never fucking stole again. It was amazing. And, I think that's how every parent should handle it. And Kate, I don't think that's going on.
You took it to the nth degree by working for Target loss prevention.
I did. It was a whole like psychological thing where I tried to make up for the rights that for all the make right all the wrongs I had done. I was on the other side now.
Yeah, it's like like a molester becoming a priest. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have used that analogy. I would have said it was more like a story of redemption, a Chekhov style tale or play. I would have done something like that. But you beat me to the whole molester thing, so now that I'll get out of that now.
Did you go from Target though, and then you like repented by working at Target?
No, we didn't have Target where I lived until 1996. So I was already like 12 by the time Target came around.
I worked an off-duty gig and opened one of the first Targets in Tampa. It was in Town and Country, a place called Town and Country, and I learned that like the doors were closed and they were like quizzing the associates, and I learned that there's like a
team members,
right? Target team members. There was a $5 or $10 leeway. So if a customer's like, oh no, the price on the shelf, there was like $10 leeway. Like, no, the price on the shelf said that was $11, not $21. They're supposed to like, okay, beep, 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 beep.
No, we got rid of that. We stopped doing that shit. Absolutely got rid of that.
This is old school Target, John.
I suppose so. I mean, once I got there, my determination exceeded all reason. Like, Drew, I was the worst. Some of my work was trackable by stats. Like, I would see people checking out, and like when they forgot something on the bottom of the cart, I would see it, right? And the good thing for an employee to do is like, hey, hey, Katie, don't forget to get the cat litter on the bottom. I would wait for them to not ring it up. I would stand idly by, and I would wait for them to walk towards the door. Excuse me, ma'am, can I see the receipt for that tiny cat on the bottom of your cart. Oh, not there. I guess you're a piece of shit, aren't you? And I would escort him back to the front lanes. And so now I have
by the ear. Would you like grab him by the ear?
I have all this self-loathing, and it's like, no, that's how I view traffic stops. You know, that cops are just waiting for people to do things wrong, and then just pull them over. Here's a fun story. So everyone knows I'm divorced, so I don't mind telling the story. But one time, like, I actually met my wife at Target. That's how we met and fell in love. And one time, she was done for the day, and I was working the night shift, so she was done at 4, and I wasn't going to get off till like 11 or so. And she comes up to the front door, and then I'm going to go talk to her or something in the office. So I grab her by the elbow, like I'm in an escort position, and I walk with her in front of the front lanes, and I hear somebody say, "Oh, look, he got one," and it embarrassed her so bad.
Well, technically, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
And I technically tricked her into thinking that I was someone that was worth marrying. So I mean, that's kind of a form of fraud, right?
Sure.
Do you have anything to say to Ben? Ben Allen is here. He says the title is magnificent. This is all despite Ben, who said please no to an after show.
I saw it.
Ben, you live in Maine. Are you going to say hi to Drew Breezy, who will be in Bangor tomorrow? Is it Bangor or Bangor?
It's Bangor.
Bangor.
Bangor. I hardly know her.
Thank you, Ben. You can't. You know, Maine's not a very. It only has like 2 towns.
It seems like it's a big state. Because
it's Bangor, and then it's literally Shawshank are the 2 places.
Kennebunkport is what you're thinking of.
Kennebunkport, and then Castle Rock. Yeah. So, Ben, are you going to be able to hang out with Drew Breezy tomorrow? Kind of putting him on the spot there. He doesn't have his whole life. Maybe Drew doesn't want to see him either. You know, just kind of arranging things.
Yeah, that's fine. And he dodged that question. So
well said, Soul Brother. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't answer that one. That's fine. So are you hanging out through the weekend, or are you just doing a quick turnaround and heading home?
Quick turnaround. The memorial. In fact, they were supposed to do an event at University of Maine tonight, which I should have flown in for, but I didn't. I made the reservations a little bit different, and then. But the service is on, or the showing is on, the showing of the movie, which is kind of like a combined memorial, I guess, is on Saturday night. And then I'm driving back to Boston on Sunday and flying out Sunday afternoon.
How was the flight? You didn't have any problems this time?
I sat, where I normally sit and watched the Fleckus episode.
So it was a great flight, in other words.
It was phenomenal. It was great.
Does this give you flashbacks at all to episode 2, when for no reason you decided to fly across the country, landed in the wrong place to try to set up an episode? And this is like when you and I were still in proving ground, right? Like, we deserve a show. And then, like, I am the only person that's fucking awake because you are in a thunderstorm. Can't wake up anyone else. I don't have access to StreamYard. And so I'm like, I don't know if there'll be a show, Did this give you any flashbacks from that?
It does, because I did that was just an odd coincidence why I ended up in that town anyway. It was like one, I was supposed to fly into one airport, but the storm was so bad we couldn't. So we flew into this other one, and I'm like, fine, I'm getting a hotel here. I'm going to rent a car here and drive to there because Kara and the kids were coming the next day. So, so yes, I got to the hotel, which I was like, I know I can get there in time. And you were like, no, we can put it off for 25 or 30 minutes. And I'm like, no, let's just fucking do it. And then other people intervened, and they were like, no, you should wait. You should not do that. You should do all that. Like,
I didn't mean to unpack anything. I just,
that's all right. That's all right.
And that's not a travel pun either. But also, like, you tried to go to Las Vegas and you wound up in Minneapolis. So it's like you've had other bad luck flying.
I've had some pretty shit luck. But I mean, these are adventures. Like, I kind of have the time to do it, so I'm fine with that.
It looks like Ben wants to go get matching tattoos with you.
Yeah, we're gonna get tribal art probably.
Gross.
That's what I'm thinking.
All
right. Well,
we can call it a night, Drew. I want you to. Well, I mean,
I didn't want you to.
That's the format of this show. It's like we've had several dead pauses. Like, nothing against David, but we had him on earlier, and we would ask him a question and like, well, David, what's your thinking on this? And he goes, it depends on who you ask. I'm like, I just fucking asked you, David. Like, what do you think about it? So we had David. We had a full conversation with David. I put it out to the fans. Yes, he's still here. Sorry, David. I thought you left.
Was it like a Chris Farley show episode?
It was kind of like that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Dewey was here earlier. We played a quick round of trivia that was a little bit that Jake actually won due to me being too gracious.
I say tomorrow's a big day because Fleckus has his big show tomorrow. Like he does a big show on Fridays. So
let's all watch that, by the way. Where can they find that, Drew?
Fleckus Talks on YouTube. And once you go there and once you watch that, you'll see how funny it is. Like it's a really, really, really well done show.
Everybody just go over there right now. Go over to Fleckus Talks, the YouTube channel, hit like and subscribe. So tomorrow when he goes live and talks all about the Comm Center.
No, he's not going live.
He could show all the commies that you're showing up to support this.
The complainants. What did I say earlier? The commenters. You can be commenters now. But so he's going to shout us out, which I think when he's got you'll see, like he puts out an episode and within an hour he's got like 20,000 views. So
and we're trying to co-opt that success for our own.
Pretty much. So we'll see. I think we had a few people in our chats tonight that were foreign to us.
Like Ed, who I thought was your Ed. I thought it was Ed Celica.
No, it wasn't.
So when he's there, he's like, "That's the best podcast ever." I'm like, I thought it was this, that. I'm like I know
here.
You've seen at least one episode of Comm Center before, but I guess not.
I am right here. We'll have to have Ed Celica on. He's an interesting character. He was he was recently in a community play.
I was in a community play once as well, but it was against my will. If you didn't believe that, that's a true story.
It was against your will.
It fucking was. Well, that's what happens when you're 13. You have to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
It was the play was a Mennonite play, and it actually was put on in a converted barn. This is all true. Very bizarre, very bizarre, but all true.
Did you sacrifice anyone or anything?
No, Mennonites don't do that. They don't do anything remotely violent. They're not at all very interesting people from a violent standpoint. But I think we made People magazine, and like they took a picture of me, and I'm in the back going like, because I don't want to fucking be there. I don't want to be in the picture. Like I purposely bombed. I bombed the audition on purpose. Like first of all, like I was like 13, which is the worst age to be in front of other human beings. I was always very introverted. Didn't want to do this. I bombed the audition, but because it's a community play, the director didn't have he thought he didn't have the clout or the ability to completely nix me entirely. So they put me in one vignette in which I tease my children, or not my children, tease my sisters that our parents might get remarried. I have like 4 lines. My part would be over, and then I'm supposed to be back for the grand finale when everyone comes out and sings. I fucking walk home. I don't stay for that. So, that was a weird. But you're drinking Heineken, Drew. Do you mind if I ask? Like, okay, so you've been pretty well open about your struggles with overcoming the demon in the bottle.
Yeah.
Why drink for the taste of it? Because I don't think that it's all that tasty, to be honest with you. I've never had a beer that's just, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 beers where I'm just like, oh man, that's delicious. But I
don't know. I just enjoy it. Like this is a huge no-no in like AA world. You don't like when I was going through rehab or anything, if you mention non-alcohol beer, they'd be like, oh no.
Yeah. Cause it's a slippery slope, right?
Okay. I mean, yes. I don't know what part of the slope I'm on in the 15th year, but literally when I was
this is Rumpelmints, and I buy it as mouthwash, but I swallow
it. When I was weeks sober, I was drinking NA beer. It doesn't bother me. Like I know what alcohol does to me, so I just don't want that anymore. So but I do enjoy like a cold beer, or like if I'm going to eat wings, or like what am I going to eat? Drink a fucking Pepsi? I mean, give me a break.
Okay.
So that's
you've made a
basically
good
what
point
Comm-
with the Pepsi. There's very few things I would want less than a Pepsi.
I'm not gonna drink a fucking Mr. Pibb.
Well, now Mr. Pibb I rather like, but not Pepsi.
Mhm.
And you're a ranch man with your wings, of course.
John,
Blue. I meant blue cheese, of course. Blue cheese.
how dare you?
And Jake's
Right.
also from Western New York, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So you're both blue cheese men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Fucking- there's-
Great. Now 50% of the podcast is mad at me. And Carly's
Ranch-
not happy with me either because I trashed her what she got here. So
I choose ranch, but I'm still bitter that John invites me on just to throw me under the bus.
Carly,
sure.
you are a joy and a delight, and it is always a joy and a delight to have you here. So.
Ranch is an invention of the Mennonites or something. Like
As
I don't
Dewey
know.
would say, better dial 811 before I keep digging.
Oh, that
Wasn't
Dewey.
that a suicidal tendency song? All they wanted was a fucking Pepsi.
Ooh, I don't know.
Could be. Drew's usually the
Deep
music
reference.
I do like tendencies.
Yeah, I
And-
do too. I like also the fact that Dewey dropped in some B-roll of ladies smoking Virginia Slims.
Didn't he
that
make
not
that
key?
Didn't he make that absolutely beautiful? I
Bravo.
was driving along watching the show as I always do on my long night drives without headlights and all this. I almost crashed into the post office because I thought that was so damn funny. He surprises me every week with something. I have to watch the show to know what it finally is.
Well,
he's an Easter egg. Go ahead.
I'd say the Easter egg was actually Drew's Aunt Sally. That was one of the ones in the Virginia Slims commercial.
Oh shit, that was Aunt Sally.
Yeah, back in the day.
I have to admit now that I have never and will never and have not ever stood the Aunt Sally reference. I know I'm supposed to. There was something else I wanted to discuss with you, Drew. I don't know if you want to do this live on the air, but I've been watching a lot of great podcasts like Fleckus Talks and various other shows. They all have a way of ending the show. Yeah. You and I just like throw up the graphic where, like we feel like it's the end. So it's just like, well, the show's over.
Well, I can't say get yourself comm centered.
And then we just,
we tried that. The whole thing about stick around, that kind of went by the wayside because your internet's usually faster than mine anyway. I don't have a solution yet.
I put this out to the commies. Like, do we write us a sign off? Like, come up with a way for us to like skillfully and masterfully let people know that the show's fucking over. That it's not. We don't have to. Because right now, Drew and I spend like probably an hour just saying names of people, and I don't know any of them. It's just
they're old Buffalo Bills.
I guess I didn't know that's what we were doing. So
no, I know you didn't. I mean, they're just my heroes.
I knew Thurman Thomas,
Eugene Marv. I threw in a Cornelius Bennett tonight.
Thurman Thomas went to the Dolphins, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he ended up. He was a trader. He did not he didn't just get traded. He was a trader. You know what? Thurman Thomas was also a heavy drinker who overcame his demons, and he lives in the subdivision across from my subdivision, or he did for a long time. I don't know if he still does.
I like this one. Lauren has say the show is fucking over and ended. Let's try that next week. The show's fucking over. And that's it.
Okay, well, the show's fucking over.
I has idea.
And it fades to black.
Carly, you had one?
Yeah, it would be funny to like kind of incorporate what you do to end a 911 call. We called it a SAG, or a safety admonishment that was given, and it was always take all precautions for your safety. Because then you can't sue us if you decide to make bad decisions.
Okay.
Yes, that's not bad. Take all precautions for your safety.
Like something more meta, like, oh, okay, well, the next shift is here.
Bingo.
Like, we're being relieved. The next shift is here.
I think people would expect another episode of Comm Center with two different people, though. It's the problem. Honestly, what if we did that? What if like Jake and Carly just like, well, they're the next Comm Center shift is here. They just start their own show.
Right. And they turn the lights all the way down.
We'd have to like cut them in for some money, and obviously we only want them on the show if they're like here for free. So we're definitely not going to do that.
Right.
Just later, they're just like, you fucking asshole. We are fully exploited. I will say, just for the record, because I am at a pit again, I have paid both of these people at various points for various things, so they're not without payment. Where's the sexy music? Is that what you're saying, Falk? Where's the sexy music? This isn't CDC. We don't have sexy music here. I don't know how to do that.
And that is not what you paid us for.
Say what?
I said that is not what you paid us for.
You had appeared on like 4 episodes of like various shows, and I'm like, you've reached full exploit point. Jake obviously does an entire podcast. He barely gets paid. So he's still in the red just because he has decorated the inside of his bomb shelter with podcast stuff. And I'm sure that money that I threw at you is long since gone. So another reason to monetize the podcast, so that like our semi-regulars could have, they could have their own light beers or something. That might be nice.
Yeah, nice things.
If we don't have any way to end the show, I would like to use it now, I guess.
Okay, we're fucking done.
We're fucking done. An hour and 17 minutes is good enough. The new shift is here. Take all precautions for your safety. My thanks to Dewey for playing a short round of trivia. Jake for playing against me. Otherwise, it would have been a very boring. Carly for keeping us from being so butch. I'm sorry for teasing you. You are a good friend of mine. Drew, I wish you all the best in your safety and your travels tomorrow. Enjoy the movie. Please make some good connections. Also, thanks for representing us, though, at that important occasion. Nicole's life did matter. And it's a sad day, but it's also just an important day. And I think it's cool that you're there. I assume Conrad's going to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
He just got done bothering Congress. So
yeah. He went from probably Congress to Maine. He went to the University of Maine.
Yeah.
I think he was, never mind. I don't even want to say it.
Yeah. He might have been there for various different reasons. Anyway. All right. The lights are getting real low, Hulk. I don't know. That's what Foxy wants me to do. Your safety. Thanks a bunch, everyone. You're supposed to end it. And then I'm going to go out. Lauren, I'm going to use yours. It's fuck. Do we need to do it in unison, Drew?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
It's fucking over.
Done.
It's fucking over.
I thought it was fucking done.
It's fucking done.
It's
Thurman
fucking
Thomas.
over.